Welcome everyone back to imaginatevisions.com. Justin here. I know it's been good Lord, it's been ages. College, life, work, closing down, winding my downtime on the Tacos and Geeks. So I wanted to do a video today because, as we know, AI is literally the topic of discussion with a lot of things. But I wanted to do something with this particular AI tool, or I should say, which is supposed to be the video game development killer called Project Genie 3. Shout out to my boy O for sending me the link. And I saw this, I was like, this is interesting. So, my friends, I gave in and I spent not 250. They gave me a discount with this when I signed up for it. Spent 124 bucks on this to bring you this video. So hopefully you appreciate it. But I feel since I'm talking about AI, I'm kind of out of place. I'm not really digital. So let us do a quick change real quick, shall we? Okay, sync technology. I'm a human 1.5. Anyway, so let's talk about Genie. So Google's DeepMind Project Genie is powered by the Genie 3 world model and is one of the most ambitious AI demos to release to the public. The whole concept of this is that you're able to generate explorable real-time interactive worlds from simple props. On paper, it sounds like leaping bounds, but I'm going to show you what this thing actually is. Okay, so let's kick this off first because I'm going to do a couple of prompts so you guys can see it. But before we begin, I just want to say what my prompt, the first prompt I'm using, everything's going to be original. So I'm using my own property. I'm using a description from my upcoming book, Shameless Plug. And I'm describing the town and my character, my main character, Mara. So the town is called New Haven, which is a post apocalyptic town that is surviving solely on solar panel and solar energy. So you're going to see a whole bunch of solar panels in the town, a horse statue in the middle. If it does it right, and just looking at the screenshot, it has nailed the concept and the idea that I have in the way I described New Haven. So points so far for that. But there's one thing here. Mara is black, which I did put in my character description, and obviously you can see she does not have brown skin or darker skin. So what you do is you can change anything like the background text if you don't like it. You can go to the modify here, and then it just makes the changes before you get into that world. Now, one thing I need to really stress here when it comes to this is that first thing that you need to know is that it does demonstrate genuine, impressive technical achievement. The worlds are generated on the fly. It does respond to movement, and it runs interactively, roughly at 20 to 24 frames per second cap. 24 is the highest it's going to go. So if you're looking for a 60 FPS or even 30 FPS, you're not going to get it here. And also, you can only be in the worlds that you generate for 1 minute. You can't really run. There was one prompt that maybe run, but for the most part, you're just walking around. You're not interacting with anything. You're not touching anything. And for the price point of $250, what they're charging you for, if you sign up, I think they give you a discount, like which is 124, like what I paid for. It's kind of a hard sell. This is like a really glorified tech demo at this point, but I will give it props because this captures where light remains just how I wrote it in the book, how the town's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little bit more desolate, a little bit more gritty, but for the most part, that's how I imagine Mara to look. You got the sun shining, the lighting effects is really good. I like what they did with this, but there are some things and hiccups that I do have to talk about. So let's get into a couple of gripes that I have with this program. One is sometimes it does not work and it's very frustrating. The more detailed you get with your environment or how you want your character design to be, sometimes it will tell you it's not able to generate it. Now, for a program that is designed to be creating these worlds based on your prompts, you have to keep it as simple as possible. And sometimes the website just doesn't work. Like you can make something that might look cool, and then you get this error 404 message that I got here. It took me numerous of times to get certain prompts right. Thankfully, when you're subscribed as Ultra, it's unlimited here, so you're not wasting like credits on your prompts or generation, so that's good. Now, for those who want to know how does sports look like, what would sports look like? So I decided to use a prompt, something simple so it can generate it, a basketball court and a basketball player with the ball, because I want to see if it was able to animate actual the person dribbling the ball while moving. And here's another issue that we have here. Now look closely. I'm not sure how close you can see it, but on the jersey it says Globe Trotters. That's going to be a huge issue for any creator because we all know that Globetrotters is an intellectual property. Now, it might not look like the actual jersey of the Globetrotters, but the use of the name Globetrotters is is an intellectual property. So you might be in trouble for that one. So you have to be careful of where and how these assets are being used. And here is how it looks in Genie 3. It looks okay. Doesn't really look like he's bouncing it at times, and you're going to see that eventually that the movement is not as fluid. He's not even really looking at the ball as he's dribbling. It's just kind of like the ball is moving with him. But like I said, I will give it credit, but of course, even you can see with the spelling, it's messed up. The courts is like, why is it high? It's just the way things are designed. I can't even go down there. I'm limited on this particular space. And then I will give it credit though, the lighting, the way the background is, I give it credit. It does look good, but once again, the ball's gone. Where did my ball go? It just disappeared. It's not perfect, but there are other issues that I felt that it needs to be ironed out here. And I'm going a little bit harder on this because of the price point. Another thing is the controls. I'm not controlling this particular prompt or this particular world that I generated. As you can see, she's walking backwards on her own until I finally regain control, and the prompt was it for it to rain. There's no rain falling down. You do have basically the aftermath of the rain because I do give it credit. You get to see a little bit of the reflections when in the water, so it does do certain things right, but it's not yet at the point where rain. I'm going to see if someone was able to do it, but for me, rain and snow, which I'm going to show you momentarily, was not possible to do. You get this actual snow in the environment, but as far as it actually snowing, I wanted to do like a blizzard to to test the effects, and I wanted to do like a rainstorm to test the effects. Couldn't do it. I got here, as you can see, the aftermath of it, but it's just it for me. It just wasn't really computing or doing what I really wanted to. And the fact that the sessions are only 60 seconds is very limited, especially when prompt reliability is inconsistent and control of a character's environment is limited. Simple requests are frequently misinterpreted or just rejected with vague error messages as I'm having a hard time fulfilling your requests, offering little guidance of improvement, and precision is extremely difficult here. And if you're looking to do something more detailed and more of your original vision, I got lucky where light remains because that's from my description and it was able to take what I actually put down my book and bring it to life. You might get like one of those rare moments where it nails it completely, but if you're looking for even for space, it looks gorgeous. Like it's all about the aesthetics. The aesthetics look gorgeous, but the controls for this is going to be just the space one was so hard, just even turning it, moving forward. It moves so slow. I'm not sure if I should have said a fast moving spaceship or something like that, but it just wasn't really there. And especially with the frame rate, it just felt like I was there. Like it took a minute just to do the whole spinning and turning around. But there are some things that I will give credit for, like where some of the strengths lie are particular. If you're looking for like shell shaded graphics or anime style type of aesthetics, that I would say looks very beautiful. For example, look at this prompt I did of a anime cell shaded graphics with a living room and a cat, and it looks gorgeous. The lighting, the use of color, cat design is okay, but the fact that it was able to generate this, I'm able to move around. Even the movement is just like a cat. The animation and movement of that, it looks good. It's not the best, but for something just out in seconds is pretty damn phenomenal. What I feel that this program will really exceed, and I feel like those who are going to try to use this or developers down the line, I would say this right now: is this a game changer? Far from it. But the concept of it is a game changer. It is a little bit of alarming. And let me show you another clip. This is an RPG, 2.5D. I wanted to go for a little bit more of the Octopath Traveler type of aesthetics, and this is the best that it can do. And even with the character, the size of him, the knight is way bigger than the other NPCs, which I told it to modify it so it can fit the same size of the NPCs. And this is what it was. Before this, he was huge. He was literally just as big as the castle and the actual building. But it scaled it down a little bit. But like I said, it's not perfect. But when it comes to those video game graphics and anime aesthetics, I think this is where the program really succeeds. It doesn't really do that great with something like a Unreal Engine 5 type of look, because that's where you really see a lot more of the mistakes with the AI, the typical AI mistakes. But something like this, I think it does well. Even here, like this kind of anime cell shaded version of New York City, and I actually gave a description of myself, and it did fairly well on capturing me. And there's, you can see my little glasses. My hair ain't really like that, but you got the quarter zip that I wear, and you got like a New York Manhattan style bus there. But once again, look at the text, look at the way it is. But for the fact that came up, pretty damn good. I will have to give it credit for that as well. But I will have to say this. As a research preview, Genie 3 is impressive, but as a paid customer product, I can't really recommend it, especially after the 3 months. You have to pay $250 a month for something that is not going to generate or get into much detail as you want it to get. This is just a glorified tech demo for those like me who just love to test out new tech. And this one here, as you can see, is from my manga that I'm working on, the Aces. That picture that you just saw is the Phoenix Ray. It did a fairly good job of capturing what the Phoenix Ray looks like, but you just saw what it really looks like. But for the most part, I can't complain. It does capture the world of Planet Nubian and everything else of this desolate world as well, and a battlefield with the mech. The mech looks good. The movement looks good. It moves just like someone who's in a mech suit. So I feel like it captured it well. One thing I really do love is the sky. The lighting, I think, does a really good job with that. But this is pretty much the program and what you're able to do with it. And at $250 after those 3 months, I can't really recommend it. So I'm gonna give you my final word, and we're gonna wrap up this video. Project Genie is not yet suitable for serious creative workflows. There's no reliable way to lock down characters, preserve your environments across sessions, or even export usable assets beyond short videos. And compared to established video game engines such as Unreal and Unity and other tools, this lacks the control necessary for any form of innovative creation at this particular stage. So is Project Genie a game development killer? People have been saying. Is it worth that investors are starting to pull out because of this? Hell to the no, my friends. Real games require storytelling, balance, emotional design, level flow, and long term player engagement. AI can help generate assets or ideas, but it doesn't understand player psychology or creative intent. Humans build meaning, themes, and experiences that players can connect with. And with that, my friends, I just want to say this as a reminder that AI should only be used as a tool, not a replacement. It is us, the humans, that are the heart and lifeblood of creativity in the forms of the arts in all aspects of creativity. That being said, my friends, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. This is Justin from MagicDivisions.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Be back soon, later days.